All right, so what I want to talk to you about now is the key to this whole thing is that coaching appointment. Remember, I do, you watch, we talk, we do it together, we talk. All right, you do, I watch, we talk. All right, this is the we talk section. What does that look like? I'm not trying to be overly regimented here, all right, but I found it to be helpful to give some guidance to people on what does that conversation look like. And I'm a boomer, okay, I'm a baby boomer. I'm right out almost into the Gen X, but I'm still a baby boomer. And so us boomers like to spell stuff and alliterate things with, the way we teach and all, so forgive me for this. So there's actually an acronym that spells COACH for your coaching appointment, all right? I know it's stupid, but it's memorable. And here we go, and you showed up, and we're almost there, so go along with me. All right, here we go. The C is cultivate your personal relationship, all right? This is about relationship. And so you know how to do that. And so in the coaching appointment, how are you doing? Learn, though, to get beyond the facade. Learn to get beyond, hey, what's the latest thing on Facebook, or what's the latest activity you did this weekend? Learn how to start sharing your lives with one another. This is that discipleship relationship. This is that opportunity to invite another person into your spiritual development as they invite you into theirs. Right? And to do that, we need to learn how to ask penetrating questions. How are you doing, really? What are you celebrating in your life right now? What's going well? Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything you need prayer for? How is your walk with Christ doing? Is there any areas in your life that you wish you had someone you could talk about and have a safe place to open up with what's really happening with you? Don't you want those questions for yourself? I know I do. I need that. Right? And so this is the relationship where that kind of thing can happen. If you want to develop another person or have the privilege of helping another person develop spiritually, you've got to get to the personal level. You've got to get beyond the niceties of life and, hey, how's it going, and what color are the curtains, and what happened this weekend. And all that's fun and a part of a relationship. To how are you doing? How can I support you? Can I share something with you that I'm going through because I need support? Get vulnerable with one another, and as you do, wow, relationships just open up, and that's where grace pours in. You see, people need not only to hear about grace, sing about grace, read about grace, they need flesh and blood to show them grace. That's part of what the body does for each other. We live the gospel in front of each other by supporting each other, by creating safe places to be real. So we cultivate our personal relationship. Second part of that is openness. What challenges are you facing? Are you tackling those? So C and O kind of go together. It's that personal friendship that's moving to openness and accountability and mutual support. Then we talk about our apprentices. And the thing I like about the COACH acronym, they're right in order. How are you doing? Let's develop our relationship. It's about us. Now, you're 12, you're 3, you're 1. How are your apprentices doing? How are they developing? Do you have any apprentices? Who's in your group? This is where that conversation happens. Do you see anybody who's a potential? No one's a potential? Maybe you can go on Sunday morning early and meet some folks. You think you've got 6 apprentices? Never heard of that before. That sounds like a great idea. Do it, because then you'll have 6 groups in 12 months from now. That conversation happens, because there's no textbook for this. This is why coaching is so critical to sustaining multiplying movements of churches and multiplying movements of Summit Connect groups. All right? And so this is why we really want to have this. Please take us up on this. Those of us who've identified ourselves as coaches, email us, call us, grab a coffee with us, use this opportunity. It's in this environment where you can get great feedback on helping your apprentices develop. All right? Where are you at in the stages of 1, 2, 3, and 4 of, et cetera and so forth? All right? Care for each person in the group. Disciple a few, apprentice, love everybody. All right? And so how's it going? How's it going with the folks in the group? Are people growing spiritually? Do people seem to be engaging? Do we seem to be talking about the right topics that are helpful to people? So-and-so seems like they're going through a difficult time. They've been sick lately. Maybe we can organize getting a meal for them. This is where you talk about with your apprentice or apprentices, how's it going in caring for the group, right? And this is where you can get real creative in serving one another, supporting one another, helping one another. This is where it gets fun, right? Where the church gets to be the church and where we see this. And I just love these kinds of stories where this type of thing happens, and it's the place people go to care for one another. And then never forget the H, harvest. All right, what are we doing to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and what are we doing to tell others about this wonderful message that we've been all touched and blessed and changed by? All right, how can we invite people in? How can maybe we can have a barbecue once a quarter so that we can invite our friends over. Maybe we can start another group once a month where people come out in the neighborhood and they come and they become a part. Maybe we can start some groups in the marketplace at our places of work where we can do lunch and learns, and together as a group we take on this opportunity of trying to reach people that we're going to work with every day. All right? How can we be strategizing about the harvest? So it's kind of corny, coach, but isn't it good? I guarantee you, if you are willing to commit to regular communication and development with your apprentice, and you follow, it's not rigid. If this is a guide to your conversation, you will be helping your apprentice grow. I guarantee it. And this is the method that I have used for almost now 3 decades. All right, and it works. So, told you right at the beginning, this isn't rocket science. It's just brick upon brick, being willing to commit yourself to a few basic principles. And as you do, you watch God do his God thing, where people start entering into ministry, where they start entering into their redemptive potential, where they start seeing God using them, where they step through that threshold of fear, they put up the poster, and people show up to the group they're leading. And before you know it, more groups have formed, and they begin to multiply. And in some cases, God's going to call some of them even to higher and higher levels of responsibility and multiplication because of the work that you're doing. I don't know about you, but I want this for Summit. And I think if we can move from addition of small groups to multiplication of small groups, it'll become the primary way our church grows.